You're here for a reason, whether you're watching this in recording or watching this live. My name is David Rutz. I happen to be the founder of David Allen Capital. Started this company out of a belief for helping business owners. Now over 30,000 business owners have gotten funding. A lot more than that, actually, when you consider our smaller fundings, and thousands of businesses have been approved from us. Thousands of commission checks have gone out, millions, tens of millions of dollars, and well, hundreds of millions in fundings and tens of millions in commissions. So the businesses, started right here in this little room 10 years ago, just over 10 years ago, and it continues to grow. And if you push the rock forward yourself and you get a rock to the end of a hill, sometimes you got to push it uphill to get it going. But once it gets going, team, you can't stop it. And I can't stop, 200 brokers from joining this week. 300 brokers without turning off the website. It's going to happen whether we do anything or not, whether I do anything personally or not. But when it started, it was just me. When it started, it was just my idea to talk to some businesses about funding and talk to a couple people about becoming brokers. And that just couple people turned into a couple people who turned into a couple people. And if you're okay with that, if you're okay with the fact that early on it's going to be very inconsistent because, you may talk to 50 businesses and the timing just isn't right for them. 30 of them might get funding over the next 5 years from you, but they may not need it this week, right? So if you can be okay with the inconsistency of now money, the week you start and the month you start and even the first year you start, and you work this part-time. If you're able to do it full time and you're in a position where you don't need steady income right now, then hey, then work this full time. But if you need steady income right now, I would never advise someone to do DAC full time who needs steady income unless you can, make something happen in the first couple months. But you may have some clients right away and you may not. And I can tell you, it took about 7 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, for me to get my first client. And we had already had maybe 15 to 20 in our company before I got my first one because I had recruited some people, and between all of them, we had gotten more clients than I could. So I wasn't client number one. I was believer number one. I was the one who believed in this funding, and I believed in the ability to help a business. And I believe that there's millions of people nationwide who own businesses, and there's millions of people nationwide who want to own their own home-based business. What if we could help people start their own home-based business serving all those business owners? Makes common sense. My past business did the same thing, marketing a consumer product, and did very well. And I thought, well, I've seen what it takes to get thousands of people to own their own business, a stay-at-home business. What if we could show them a way to make full-time money starting their own home-based business, marketing business funding? It's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to talk to business owners. Some people would just rather talk to their neighbor about a protein shake, and they should. Other people want to talk to business owners about copy machines, and they should. Other people want to talk to people about life insurance, and they should. But others say, wait a minute now, the front line of capitalism is business owners, and you got a way to get business owners funding when their bank can't help them, and even banks love you, and you're not anti-bank. You come alongside and actually help a bank because you're helping all their clients who they can't afford, and then you're helping all the business owners in town who don't have collateral, and you can actually get them funding. Why wouldn't I want to do this? Those people love our business. Not everybody fits that. We get that. But here's the thing, 10 years later, tens of thousands of commission checks, tens of thousands of fundings. Every funding becomes several commission checks to the broker and whoever their team is, right? I mean, isn't that a beautiful thing? So the business is working. All right. It's very successful, but we are nowhere near what we need to do to create critical mass. Critical mass is when you hit a tipping point. There's a book called The Tipping Point, and you will all hit critical mass in your business as well. When I say we can't stop DAC from growing by a couple hundred brokers a week, that's right now, unless we turn our site off. That's without incentives. That's just with our current program, right? And one day you'll have that, but we're going to get to the point where we can't stop it from having 200 brokers a day. That's unfortunately, or fortunately, going to happen. And at that point, at some point, when you go into a town, there'll be 20 DAC brokers. Hopefully, they're all in your team. At some point, every major city will have 200 to 300 full-time brokers. Hopefully, they're all in your team. At some point, we're going to be like Remax and Century 21 and Real Estate One and EXP and Keller Williams and or State Farm and Farm Bureau and AAA and there's already going to be a bunch of agents in your town. But right now there's not. Right now it's you and a few possibly, or probably you and two, or just you. And so you've got an opportunity here to become the mover of a mission called business funding into your town. You have the opportunity to be the person that brings that and plants those seeds, those sprouts nationwide, like Johnny Appleseed did. Erica Appleseed's on here right now. Erica's one of our brokers. She just texted me, showed me her personal goals. That's why we call her Erica Appleseed. Always talking to new business owners and prospects about joining the business or becoming a funding customer. And that's what you're doing. And that old story about Johnny Appleseed, he went town to town planting apple seeds and left behind him apple trees, right? It's the story. But the reality is, this is what our business is doing. And it's taken, we haven't relied on advertising. We haven't relied on venture capital funds. We haven't relied on taking a company public to get public exposure, losing money or not. EXP still loses money every year. Keller Williams still loses money every year because they went a different model. Now they're much bigger than we are, and God bless them. And hopefully one day they're making a profit. The brokers are making great money. Right. We're doing it a little different process because I didn't want to give up control of the company because I did that in my last company and I ended up having to sell it. Right. So not doing that, a slower roll, but a steady roll. And it's ramping up. You know, my grandparents had a game called Shoot the Moon. I'm not talking about the basketball game. Shoot the Moon is a little thing where you had a board and the board has a bunch of circles in it, 10 points, 50 points, 100 points. And you have these two bars. And the bars have a blue steel or a silver steely ball on it. And you pull the bars apart and the steely ball starts to roll toward you, but it'll fall if you keep it too far apart. And you got to pull it apart and you kind of do this thing and you get the ball to move and you keep the ball moving and then you try to get it all the way to the end, shoot the moon. And many of you have played it. It's an older game. It's long before digital technology made that game kind of weird, but we all love playing it at my mom and dad's house and all the grandkids love trying to shoot the moon. And let's just say, you know, I'm the moon man. Okay. I'm the moon. I don't moon people, but I shoot the moon. All right. So, not always. My dad's the one who's good at all the meaningless games like that. He's the winner. And my son actually says that to him. He says, Grandpa, the king of all the meaningless games. He wins them all somehow. But anyway, back to the business point here. You're all shooting the moon with this business. We're slow and steady roll. It's like that ball. We're starting to do this. We're ramping. You're ramping, but you got to get moving. You want to get moving without the pressure of performance. You don't need pressure of performance, but you do need a pressure of timing. You got to understand that this time only happens once. I had coffee the other day with one of the people that helped start Rocket Mortgage. He was in the boardrooms working directly with Dan Gilbert, who's now a billionaire, long before Dan was even known, long before they had 30 people selling mortgages. And he was one of them in the building. And we had coffee last week and we're talking more and more about things. And he sees where we're at. He's like, your place and time is so critical right now where you guys are, what you've already built, what you've already got, the foundation you've already got. You guys are this close to just growing in them. And I know that, and God willing, that'll happen. But all of you are in the opportunity right now to take this to your town in a major way. And so I don't want to talk any more vision right now. I just want you to recognize that you should, a saying I've never said just popped into my mouth, but I won't say it because it's crude. But it's, or get off the pot. I've never said that, but that's what came to my mind just now. You should, or get off the pot, right? It's time that we all recognize we really are in a unique place and time, and I should take advantage of it or just let it go and realize I'm not going to and do something else, right? Find something else that inspires you. But with my hope is that you're here and you're watching. That means you want to make it happen. So I'm just going to ask you, put on your Superman cape and your Superwoman cape, and you don't have to know everything, but you have to proceed. with doing. Many of you already are. Most of you already are if you're on here, but some of you still aren't. It's still beyond your comfort zone. And so I'm just going to ask you, step out your comfort zone. You jump off the diving board, you're gonna be okay. This isn't a skydive. You're not, being pulled behind a boat at 60 miles an hour, or jumping out of a plane at 10,000 feet, or ice skating where you can bust your elbow if you fall. You're not skiing mogul runs. You're not doing anything dangerous. This comfort level comes down to between your ears, what you're saying to yourself. So, broker update, got some updates for you, but most importantly, know that we care. We want you to win. If you're struggling, reach out to support and let them know what your fear is. Let them go to your enroller and their enroller, find out who your team leader is, and let's help you break through, because we understand that our future superstars don't all start as superstars. Most people who come here who are already doing well in life and are already skilled and are already beyond their zones of comfort, they're going to do well, but they also understand that they may have 100 people in their group, and of those 100, maybe 50 of them don't have that comfort yet. And so we're speaking to the 50 right now. We're speaking to the ones who aren't yet comfortable. And we just encourage you, get with them and voice it, reveal it to heal it. Reveal what you're struggling with to somebody, what your fear is, and overcome it. And then we'll go forward. I shared on my broker update earlier this week about a fear someone has about recruiting new people, because they've recruited 17 in the last 10 years and none of them got any fundings, or a couple got fundings only. And they're like, why would I recruit more? It didn't say that, but that's the fear, is if I recruit more, is it going to be the same? And should I just not even waste time doing it? And we had to have a discussion about that. And he overcome that. He said, oh, that's a good point. I'm actually going to start recruiting a bunch of people, because he recognized the numbers game. And he also recognized that over 10 years, that's not a lot of people to recruit. And if 10% are going to super succeed and 90% aren't, then you got to have more than 17 people to get to the 10%. And so are we okay with 10% being super successful and 90% not? Well, I am, because we don't charge fees. And as I said on that huddle, the average health club has 7% of the people showing up who pay for a membership, 7% showing up who pay for the 7% paying for the membership who show up. Yet that gym is clean. The machines are tidy. Everything's working right. All 100 pay for that place to look nice. The 7 take best advantage of it, right? Now, we're not charging all of our brokers, which would make the business a lot more comfy for me, a lot more cushiony for me, because we wouldn't have to worry about any financial things, because we'd have money coming in from all the non-actives. But I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, because I don't want to make money off other people's investments. I want to make money on other people's success. And so that's why we're free. But what ends up happening is we provide an amazing business for all 100 people who join our company, even if only 7 of them are ever going to get a client. Now, all of them can get a client, but not all of them will get a client. Everyone can go to Planet Fitness who's got the membership, but most people won't. Everyone can walk into that powerhouse gym, but most of them don't. Every one of them who buys that a meal replacement powder can lose weight, but most won't even drink it all. It is just called life, right? So are you okay with saying, hey, most who join Rocket Mortgage never got a client either, but there's still $1 billion. Most people in Keller Williams will never sell a home. In fact, it's estimated about 15% of Keller Williams agents will sell a home. That's it, 15%. 15%, yet they're $1 billion company. And of the 15%, it says that about 9% will sell 85% of the homes. About 9% of their brokers will sell 85% of their homes. Are you okay with 100 or 91% of their brokers not really doing well? They're paying money every month to have their brokerage. Are you okay with those numbers? You got to be. And are you okay with that at DAC? So I've spent this time, because this is what I'm going to talk about in the broker update. It's national championship checkpoint. We have 8 more days of our national championship, 8 days to get your points. And one of the best ways to get points is recruiting and certifying brokers. Of course, fundings as well. But when you're planting seeds, I got two people who said they're applying this week for funding. If they do, they'll get funded next week. I'm already sure. I've already pre-screened. I've already screened away people who shouldn't apply because they're not eligible or they won't like the pricing or they don't have a good use of funds. I've already screened them away. I could have had them apply to get points. I've already screened everyone away, but I've got two said they're applying today or this weekend. I don't know that they will, but if they do, they'll fund next week. But what I can guarantee is if I recruit 10 people this weekend, I can guarantee that all 10 can be certified by next week. That's 500 points by the end of the tournament, by the end of the month, right? So you get 500 points, you're going to do pretty good in this. And go check out the national championship standings. I know they're not mobile friendly yet. You got to look at it from a desktop. That's a live document that feeds that. So unfortunately, we haven't been able to get it mobile friendly viewing yet, but we're working on it. And it's a priority, but it's not the hottest priority. You know, we got other fires that we're putting out and other things that matter more than that. So just look at it from a desktop. And eventually it'll be mobile friendly. But between now and the 28th is grow and go and try to be in the show. Try to be part of the top 64. And if you get some fundings, again, this is only new production. So if you're brand new today, you may not know, well, how do I? You can literally start today and get into the top 64 because we don't count any of the old teams. We don't count all the old organizations. We only count brand new recruit points and brand new customers. Renewals don't count. So if I don't get a new customer, I don't get points for fundings, all the renewals I may have. If I don't recruit any new brokers, I don't get points for all the brokers I recruited prior to January 15th. My whole team that I'm supporting and working with, some of them are in the tournament and doing well. I don't benefit when they do well. I get paid on it. You get paid on those old teams, but you can be brand new and literally be in our top 64 and make it into the national championship run. You're all in it right now. Every one of you are in it right now, but on the 28th, it comes to a close. So who's going to be in our top 64 point wise? And one of the best things to do to guarantee it is go on a recruiting binge this weekend, go on a recruiting push this weekend, but not just recruits, make sure they get certified. Pather, who's number one in the tournament right now. In fact, he was last time I looked. I believe he still is. Pather is got a lot of personally enrolled brokers who got certified, right? And he's got some apps going in and stuff as well, and so does his team. But the long and short of it is we give 50 points for a certified broker. We give 50 points for a funded application. A funding, you get a lot more points as well. Also, I want you to know Giggle reports to us usually daily, but it's been a little more sporadic the last few days. They got a new system. So some of the Giggle points aren't fully reported yet. So that we're doing them daily, but Giggle maybe every other day or something that those get added on. So if you got a Giggle approval yesterday or application yesterday, you don't see the points today, we know it's because they haven't told us yet who got a completed app. We usually get it daily, but it's a manual email that we get, and sometimes we haven't been getting it as regularly as we'd like. So that's not super accurate, the Giggle points, but we're aware of it, and they will be accurate by the end of the month. And we usually every couple days they're updated, if not sooner. All right, so it's a press time. Now, once we go into the top 64, production determines the prizes. We know we got a few $1,000s set aside for prizes for the winners, right? But I want it to be more than that. What's going to determine if it's more than that? Production. If we see great production pick up, then we throw more money at the prizes, right? The best prize is to say you won the first national championship the company's ever had. That's the best prize. You know, there was a gal I don't know her first name. I'm sorry. Last name's Lou. Won the gold medal last night, and she had fun. She had fun, won the gold medal figure skating for the U.S., and she left the sport at 15 years old because of all the pressure. So you don't need to live under pressure to perform. Have fun with this. Have fun. I like getting calls and telling them they shouldn't apply. I like getting calls and telling them they should go to their bank. I like getting calls and saying, dude, you got a great business. I wouldn't do a thing right now. I shared just before I went live, I shared a coffee house in my town that I heard gives 100% of their profit to stop human trafficking. Why won't I go sip a cup of purpose and impact at their place rather than Starbucks a half mile away? Of course I will. And why wouldn't I share that? Of course I'll share that. I love just having fun with this and let the points accumulate. Now, if I get to the top 64 and I get to the top 32, I'm sure I'll start feeling some pressure. But my philosophy is just like the girl won the gold medal, have fun with it, and you will have one of the top productions because you're not pressing in to do anything. You're not trying to get a funded client or trying. Then you get commission breath. People start to feel your urgency. You see the skaters go out there who are, I got to nail this versus the one that says, hey, I'm going to have a blast with this. I already did well 6 years ago. I hated skating after a while, so I left. Now I come back because I love skating. I'm just going to love this, love what I do. You saw it when she came on the ice. You saw it when she skated, and you saw it when she left. And if you haven't, you should watch it because it's a great, it's a great story and success story for someone who says, I'm going to no longer be forcing my way into the world of performance. I'm going to enjoy my way into the world of performance. Now, you don't think she's practicing her tail off? And of course she is. But man, she just flows. She just flows. Okay. And I love the authenticity of her. She was interviewed afterward. She's got this hair style. She's got black, white, black, white, black, white hair, like a raccoon, her hair. And someone says, I bet this hairstyle is going to become super popular. And she didn't go, oh, thank you. She said, you know what? Do your hairstyle any way you want to do it. Be yourself. Be authentically yourself. Gold medal winner. Great example. Hopefully we're all following that. So let's press to try to be in the top 64, but let's not feel the pressure of being in the top 64. You're supposed to be doing these activities anyway if you want to be interested in your business. And I will say this. Why are you supposed to be doing this? Because there's businesses in your town who need funding. And because there's people in your town who need to become brokers. There's people in your town who student debt is at an all-time high. What else is at an all-time? Consumer debt's at an all-time high. Consumer debt is picking up. Consumer debt is picking up. Retirement accounts are going down. The youth of the country are making less compared to what it costs than ever. But I don't want to hear any bitching because you got DAC. And if you're bitching about the cut price of houses, go make some more money with DAC. Because I got to pay that high price too. We all do. And you know what? In 1990, it wasn't any easier to get into college than now. And it wasn't any easier to buy a house than now. Everyone says it was. I lived it. It wasn't. My job, I didn't make very much. Nowadays, people have jobs making 1/4 their house price. Are you kidding me? I wish I could have bought a house for 1/4 my income back then. It wasn't possible. You couldn't. You had to have so much more down. There's no programs for startup funding. There's no first home buyer programs for us. So let's not all buy into this crap that it's harder today. Maybe the interest rates are higher, but guess what? You can make $500,000 in 26 with DAC. So let's not accept the news, the press. It's all political crap to try to win elections. So let's not buy into all the crap that we're hearing. Let's get out there and make an impact in the world. Let's not whine. Let's not complain. Mom, sorry, I swore. Never heard my mom swear before. So she's not happy when I swear. I'm not a swearer. I swear, but I did swear. So let's quit the complaining and let's just make some things happen. Business owners need this funding. Brokers, people need to become brokers. We need to give this opportunity to people. PDF brochure for the funding challenge or the funding special of the month. Don't forget it's construction. It's the big funding construction special right now. We changed the brochure to be a one-pager because people were struggling with how to separate a PDF or print just one page. Most printers, you can say print page 2 of 2 and just print page 2. But a lot of people were struggling with that. So we just turn it into a one-page document. We also, if you don't know how to edit a PDF, let me just encourage you. We've got a little tutorial. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Support can send to you. But let me just encourage you, call your upline and say, do you know how to add my information to my PDF? Because support department is not print support. It's not Microsoft PDF editor support. And we understand you may say, I wish it could be easier. There is not a QR code PDF editor in the world. You got to know how to take a picture called a QR code and add it to a PDF. If you don't know how to do that, we can't teach you how or do it for you. So call your upline who will. And we do have a step-by-step. We'll show you, but you still got to learn how. So ask chat, or what I would recommend is take the PDF, download it to your computer, go to your local UPS store or your local printer. They will add your information for free. Write it on a sticky pad, walk in and go, can you add this on the PDF where the address goes and where the QR goes? And can you do that for me? And then I want to print 100 of them or 200 of them. It's really simple. And they'll do that for you. That's what Matt DeHane did when he was printing. They'll print them. It'll be cheaper than printing them paper at home. They'll be better quality, and they'll do it for you. So if you're not sure how, just go to a local printer. They'll do it for you. Put it on, you can email them the PDF, download it to your computer and email it to them, and they'll be happy to do that for you. So know that the PDF is there. Outside of that, last thing I want to say is one of the things that I would encourage you all do is share your partner link. Share your partner link. The partner link, when I say share it, text it. Do you know your partner link? davidallencapital.com/partner/your ID number. That is your replicated partner link. davidallencapital.com/partner/your ID number. If you send that link to people, they open it, and the first thing they see is a 4-minute video of me telling them about the opportunity. And then they can join. It's really simple. So I would encourage all of you to list out 20 people that you want to encourage they consider being a broker this weekend. 20 or more. I'm going to introduce it to 20 this weekend. That's my personal goal. I'm going to send that link out to 20. Hey, just thinking about you. You may know I'm in business funding. We're looking for more brokers locally. It may be something you may want to check out. I think this would be great for you. There's a little 4-minute video at this link. If you're interested, please give it a look. If not, just let me know. Something like that. Again, you don't need to say word for word what I say. What you have to say is what you want to say, right? Just say less rather than more, and just speak from your heart. Hey, I really love this company. I think you'd do great here helping businesses get funding. Check out this link, davidallencapital.com/partner/your ID number. And send that out to 20, send that text out to 20 people this week. You didn't have to call anyone. You didn't have to talk to them. Now, also, I would encourage you reach out by phone to some and say, hey, I want you to look at something. I think this would be good for you. Or, hey, have you ever thought about making money outside of what you're doing? Or, hey, you got to take a look at this. We're doing business funding. It's unbelievable. I think it'd be a great addition to what you're marketing. I think this would be good for you and your family. I think this would be good for your business. I think this would be good for your clients. I think this would be good for your customers. Whatever you believe, it's share what you believe, and you'll attract those who believe what you believe. So this weekend is recruiting weekend, because every weekend should be, but take this weekend and to do it as a kind of, I'm going to do a little test. I'm going to plant 20 seeds. I'm going to reach out to 20 this weekend via text. And I'm going to call some as well. And I'm going to email some as well. Email won't, you don't even know if it got open. Text gets looked at. People I'm talking about. And I'm going to reach out and I'm going to look for people who want to help lead local community or help local businesses. That's what we're doing, right? We're serving local businesses. And I'm going to reach out to 20 or more and see if you can't get 5 new brokers this weekend. And see if you can get all 5 certified. And that's 250 points. I'd probably get you pretty close to the top 64. I don't know where we're at right now. I haven't looked at it in a little while. I'll be looking at it this weekend. So, and then what if one of them gets a funding app and gets funding next week? Because it's not uncommon for a brand new broker to get a funding in their first week. It is uncommon, but A lot of our brokers get their first funding in their first week because they have a warm market and they actually start and they actually talk to businesses. Many of them won't talk to businesses to start. They're still digesting things, but those who get it and go, I believe in this, I'm going to share it. They quickly get clients and applications. So that can become a funding that you get points on too, right? So this weekend, 20 or more. If you're going, Dave, that's a big number. You know, hundreds of people you haven't told about DAC yet. So I'm asking you to reach out to 8 today, 8 tomorrow, 6 Sunday, or 4 Sunday, right? Whatever it takes to get 20 or 20 all tomorrow morning. You may seem like a lot if you do it all at the same time, but spread it out over a week. It's only, 7 a day, 7 a day. So who can you text? And you know what? McGuire said, don't assume. Open up your mobile phone. My phone's up here as a camera, but open up your mobile phone. Have I told yet? Have I told yet? Have I told yet? Have I told yet? No, text them. Nope, text them. Nope, text them. Some will, some won't. So what? Find out, inform them because it may not be for them. But, I have a gentleman who introduced, I have a meeting with the founder of one of the largest real estate companies in America. We're talking today at 3 o'clock. That came from someone local that I recruited who wasn't interested. But he said, hey, you have to talk to my nephew. I talked to his nephew, and his nephew said, hey, you have to talk to the owner of my company. Set up the call for today at 3 o'clock. All I did was reach out to somebody who wasn't interested, but they referred someone who wasn't interested, but they said, you need to talk to the owner of my company. Now, I don't know what's going to come from that, but there's tens of thousands of agents in that company, and I'm talking to the owner of it, and I didn't make it happen, but I did because I reached out to the gentleman earlier because they were in my phone. So reach out and care, reach out and touch someone, right? Be neighborly and let the ripple effect occur. But you start the ripple effect. It doesn't just start. People don't just call you, but if you start moving forward, you'll see where that becomes, right? So reach out to at least 20, maybe reach out to 30 or 40 or 50, right? And if you go, well, 20, I won't do 20, but I'll do 2, then do 2. But I'm going to encourage you, if you've got more than 100 names in your phone, which you do, and you've not approached all 100, 30 of them, this could be life-changing for them. Or it could be their son that it's life-changing for, or their husband is life-changing for. Their husband just got laid off and doesn't know what he's going to do and says, I'll never go back in corporate America. And you reach out to his wife and his wife goes, not me, but man, my husband's fired up for this. And you don't tell them because you're limiting your approaches. No. So today's call was more about recruiting weekend, but of course, everything we do on all our huddles is serving funding customers and how to serve them right. So make sure you're doing that as well. Reach out and touch as many businesses as you can. Be neighborly. Join your chambers, join your banks, meet with your banks, all those things that we teach, do them all. So that is more of a vision discussion today, and I get it. But hopefully this is inspiring. These are the things I think about a lot to move me. And this is what I think about a lot that started this company and what I think about a lot to help lead the sales organization with clients and recruits and all of it. So, hopefully this has been impactful for you in a positive way, and find some businesses in your town to celebrate, to share about, to comment on their Facebook walls, and find some brokers who want to join this movement with us, especially locally. And 20 or more this week. And let's see what kind of recruiting push you can have in your team. And then let's see what they can turn into and And let's see if we can't get your boulder over the hill and start it rolling. And I will say this last point. I don't know factually. I could pull up my commissions and look, but I'm going to say last year, of all the commissions I earned, 10% of it was personal production. 90% was overrides. That's just a guess. And I've gotten some clients and I've made some nice personal commissions, but I still bet 90%. And guess what? Same thing's going to happen for you unless you never build a team. Then you'd only get that 10%. You'd only get that personal commission. And if I only got my personal commission, I'd be doing something else. If I only got my personal commission, David Rutz would go do something else. So I make nice personal commissions. I've made nice personal commissions this month, but it's only about 1/10 of what I earn, if that. And so are you positioned to have that yet? You will if you build the team. My neighbor LaFontaine's, it's a neighbor dealership. Mr. LaFontaine started himself and selling cars. Now he's got, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 dealers. I don't even know. He's not in there selling cars anymore. He gets paid on every car sold. He started as the guy selling the cars right in my town of Milford. If you know Michigan, you know the family deal, LaFontaine Motors. They're all over. Penske, if you know Penske, started as a one-person sales. Now it's Penske Motors and Penske Oil and all that. Owns airlines and everything. Everything starts small. You got to start it. You got to push it. You got to roll it forward. Have fun with it, like the gold medal winner last night. Have fun and do it because you should, and do it because it's right, and do it because business owners will be appreciative and brokers will be appreciative, and be okay with the fact that not every business is going to want to apply, and not every business doesn't fit, and not every broker is going to win, and not every broker is going to want to do this. But that's okay. Have fun with all of it anyway, and just deal with the ones who want to do it and the clients who do need it. And it's fun. It's fun, and you'll do very well. Let's go to any questions you might have, or comments you might have. Support team, is there anything I didn't cover from today? No. Is there anything
all
from
the
the
notes.
chats that need to be covered?
Nope.
No, we're all good. We just have some hands up. You covered everything that I know we went over, so we're good. We have quite a few hands up. We'll start with Carmen. Go ahead, Carmen.
Yeah, Carmen, before you go, everyone
Yeah.
go to the chat and write the number of brokers you're going to reach out to. And if it's only one, say one. Just be honest. Be honest. It's so important that you're authentic. And say zero if you're not ready. Say something. And say 20 if it's 20. Don't put 50 unless it's going to be 50. And I'm going to answer mine right now. So you're going to see me. I'm telling you it's 20 and I'm doing it. So there's me. So you put your number in there, put your chat in there. Some of you can't go to chat. I get it. But this is about truly about pushing the ball over. And McGuire, you were here when I started DAC. What were you, 18?
Yeah.
10 years ago?
Yep.
Yeah. So you're 18 years old. You're probably a senior. You were a senior. You were a senior in high school. That's when I was sitting over there making that little video. And I saw a post today from our David Allen Capital page from November of 2015. The business was 2 months old. 2 months old only. We didn't have replicated websites. We didn't have a way to replicate our business. You had to send me an email if you wanted to join as a broker. That's how we did it. You had to get your own application signed, collect all the documents yourself, submit them all in, and then we would do everything. There was no system. There was no bank Parisi. There was one lender who declined over half the applications. And we still were able to build a team, and we still were able to get fundings, and we still were able to be a top performer. Now systems make it so much easier. We've invested into the business, but it started with just, hey, I'm going to go talk to some clients. That's what you get to do this weekend. Be like I was my first month, my first week. Just talk to some clients and talk to some brokers this weekend. But do it the same way I did. I wasn't playing. I wasn't trying it. I was building it. I was offered 5% of someone else's company that already had it. I'm like, thank you for the salary offer. And thank you for actually it was 25%. Thank you for the 25% of the company. And thank you for the salary offer. But you don't know what I want to build. And I don't want to have friction. So I'm just going to go build it myself. It was a commitment. I gave up a salary offer and gave up ownership in something that was already building to start this from scratch. You don't have to sacrifice like that. You don't have to give up a salary, and you don't have to do all that. That's not to say anything except I knew what we were building. This wasn't a let's give it a try. If you're still in a let's give this a try, kick that to the curb and go make $500,000 over the next 2 years in this business, and then make $500,000 every year and have a brokerage team. Look at this. Just have 20 fundings a week with a $500 average override. That's 10,000 a week. That's 480, I'm sorry, that's $520,000 a year. How many? 20 fundings in your team a week at $500 average override is 10,000 a week. Commit to doing it. Commit to building a team that does 20 fundings a week. Commit to getting yourself up the ladder so you're making a $500 override and you're making 20% on every funding in your team. Commit to doing it. Just don't be like I was when I started my business. I am doing this. I am going to become nationwide. I am going to help thousands of businesses. I am going to help thousands of brokers. We are going to do it for free. We're going to give them an opportunity. We'll take the burden. We'll take the cost. We'll build the websites. We'll build the applications. We'll build the brochures. We'll negotiate with the carriers. We'll talk to the clients. We'll do all the things. We're doing it, and we're going to build a team to do it. And it's just David Rutz alone telling his wife about it. Kick open the door. If you haven't been willing to yet, quit sitting on the flipping sidelines and say, you know what? I'm going to have the same intensity. I wasn't intense. You wouldn't have known this was in there. But what was in there is there's millions of people joining network marketing companies every day. 95% are going to lose their investment. 95% are going to buy things on auto ship just to qualify. 95% are going to charge their friends prices on products that they can get on Amazon for half the price. And they don't know of a better opportunity. I'm building them a better opportunity. They can make full-time income here, whether they ever build a team or not. And they can help a client, help a business who's going to shut down for lack of access to capital. I don't hate the network marketing industry. I think the network marketing industry is great for the 10% who do well. For the 90% who don't, well, they got to come join DAC because they can make full-time money here and go build all those companies. I have ownership in some. I'm still getting paid on some. There's nothing wrong with all those companies, except you better change your prices and get them to where you can compete with Amazon, or don't ask me to get customers. So what do? We're free and we have best price on funding there exists. Beat that. You can't beat that. It's not beatable. You can't come do it any cheaper than free. You can't do it any cheaper than no cost. The renewal can't be any less pricey. The websites can't cost any less. The LMS can't be cheaper. David, you can make money on training. I know I did for a lot of years. I made hundreds of thousands of dollars monthly on training. I know I could be charging for trainings. I realize most don't succeed, so I don't want to make money on their education anymore. I'll educate them for free and we'll make money when they win. So get out there, kick the door open. You don't have to build all that, but you have to build what? You have to build a team of people who want this. 20 fundings a week at $500 override is $520,000 a year. How many brokers do you need to get to 20 fundings a week? Why do I have no trouble building this business? Because these are the things I think about at 3 a.m. Like, man, it's so easy for someone to do. It's simple. It's not easy. You got to be willing to deal with it. You got to build a team big enough to get 20 fundings a week. It doesn't matter how many get approved, how many get declined on the default, how many get declined because they had a past default, how many people said they're doing 50,000 a month and they're only doing 7. No, that's all noise. It doesn't matter. Forget the noise. You only need 20 fundings a week, a $500 override to make $520,000 a year. Go make that anywhere else and you're working 70 hours a week. Let's push the can. Let's knock it over. Kick it. Boom. Kick the door open. Glass ceiling, ladies. Come on. Glass ceiling people of color, glass ceiling seniors, glass ceiling non-college graduate, glass ceiling 20-year-old, glass ceiling. Forget all that crap. It's all a bunch of made up BS. Let's get out there. It's maybe in some companies, some world, but DAC computer doesn't look at anything but how many fundings? How many fundings in your team? What rank are you? How'd you earn the rank? Done. Well, if you know David Rutz, is it a better? No, same pay plan. Well, what if Morgan, can I talk to Morgan? No, same pay plan. Well, what if I come with, you don't know my background, same pay plan. If you did so well there, you're going to eat this up here. We shouldn't have to give you anything, right? Yeah. So guys, sorry I go on these rants because this is the passion that built the company and I will never apologize for it because without it, I sell. I get out. COVID, bye. Why would I keep this business open in COVID? It costs us a ton of money. Nobody's getting fundings. Nobody wants to work. Nobody can go talk to anyone. So, okay, let's move on. No, 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 no. This is a lifelong business we're building here. And if you don't want to be a part of that, you do because you're here. But my mentality is if someone doesn't want to be a part of that, no problem. Goodbye. Goodbye. It's okay. I love you. It's like if you don't like to go to a church I go to, it doesn't mean you're not a Christian. You don't want to go to another church, go to another church. I'm not offended by it. Same thing here. Let's go build this. But this weekend, guys, kick the door open and say, you know what? Enough is enough is enough is enough. 20 fundings a week is all I need. I just got to get a team of a couple hundred people and I'll be doing that. How do I get a couple hundred? I start recruiting 20 this week myself.